Bang it 3 times.
Meeting is called to order.
Thank you and welcome, everyone. Statement of compliance. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, the revised annual notice was emailed to the West Texas Tribune and Star Ledger on February 28, 2023. The agenda and resolutions for the meetings are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purposes of personnel and or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to the members of the governing body and township staff. Any use of electronic devices during the meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of township business, and any communication are subject to the Open Meetings Public Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at www.facebook.com/LivingstonTownshipNJ. Questions and or comments email to livcomments@livingstonNJ.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in Livingston Code Section 2-15. Before the roll call, Carolyn, I just want to thank Charlotte and Brody for opening the meeting for us. This is great. So, Carolyn, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Klein.
Here.
Begoli. Here. Deputy Mayor Anthony.
Here.
Mayor Vieira.
Present. So would you I'd like everybody to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So Charlotte and Brody, would you turn around and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take you back to Mom. Great job. Thank you very much. Oh, they're coming down. Thank you very much. You see, you show up to a council meeting and see what happens, you get to open it. So I do not see Eileen Fishman from Essex County here this evening. So tonight, we have 2 presentations on our agenda. One is the history of the Livingston Fire Department with Tom Cooney, but the first one is, you know what, when I became a council member in 2019, Deputy Mayor, you probably do remember this, but it was an idea that I had, is that you honored your wife. And I thought that was so great. And you know what? I know you and Lori love each other. And it was just, you know, you made the front page of the newspaper. It was just, I do think you love your wife, right?
Yes.
Good.
You said, I want my wife. Yes, I still want my wife.
You still want your wife? Good. Good. But I thought that was so good. And I said, you know what? If I was to ever become mayor, you know what? I want to do something very similar. So thank you for the idea. And you know what? Our wives and our spouses, Ricky, you're out there. You know what? You know, we're the face of the community. We're the ones that volunteer. But you know what? If it wasn't for Gabby, Ricky, Lori, Elena, Cindy, you know, we couldn't do what we do for the community. And this is our way of saying thank you. So I know each of us want to say something about each of our spouses. And I'm going to ask Ed to go first.
No, just kidding. So first of all, you know, I think Mayor Vieira said it well, that it's been now 9 years I've sat on this council, finishing my 9th year. And, you know, this doesn't happen without the support and the love of my wife and my kids, who started off when they were in high school when I started this, and now they're out of college. But this is really, it's a labor of love for us, what we do. But the love comes from the family. And so we cannot do this without the love and support that we get. And I, you know, truly thank Elena for everything that she does for me, day after day, week after week, year after year, for our entire family. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really work, and it doesn't really happen without her. So I appreciate you. I thank you very much, and I certainly love you as much as always and as ever. And I also want to just thank all the other spouses as well, because we spend a lot of time up here together, all of us, and we abandon all the families. And so I do want to give a shout out to all the spouses as well this evening for everything that they do for their spouses that are up here as well. So thank you very much, Mayor, for this opportunity for me to thank my wife and my family.
Thank you. And I think at the end of, at the conclusion, we do have flowers and a gift for our spouses. So I think we'll wait till the end and then all go down there. Councilwoman Begoli?
Oh, Ricky. I met Ricky when I was 19 years old. He has been my entire world since the day I met him. We have 3 beautiful children together, and we have made a lovely home. And you don't get to where I am today alone. You have been my rock, always supporting my every whim, whether it was going back to school, always having a meal ready when I get home that I get to, send pictures to the other council members. I appreciate that deeply. Always taking care of our boys and making sure that we, including me, are all taken care of. It takes a lot to do everything that you do. I have so many titles, and they're because of you. Because you have supported me, you have challenged me, you have told me and have been the person who tells me all the time, you can do anything you put your mind to, Ro. Without you, I don't think I would be here. So I want to thank you for being the amazing father that you are, the amazing husband that you are, and for allowing every one of my dreams to come through. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Klein?
Thank you for doing it. Let me get that. Mayor, thank you for doing this for us. It's very sweet of you, and we appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be able to recognize my beautiful wife, Cindy, from up on the dais. She always enjoys it. You'll be happy to know by doing it now, I won't do it again on January 1. How's that? We just celebrated our 16th wedding anniversary and had a lovely day and night, and it was very special, and I have no illusions. It's not just being pro forma to say that I don't get to sit up here unless you let me do it, in the sense that I would never be able to walk away from our family unless I know that you're covering everything and raising our kids the way we both want our kids raised. And because you do that, I can be here. And I love you for it, and I thank you for it.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Anthony?
Yes, Rosie, I think we have you beat by a little bit. We're actually high school sweethearts, my wife and I. We went to different high schools, but I think you said 19. We were younger than 19 even. But we've always been a team, and our kids adore you. You're our idol, our role model. I get choked up with this. So, we did have a Lori Anthony Day in 2016 and 2019. The second one, the difference in the writing was, and it will be Lori Anthony Day forevermore in the Anthony household. So she's already riding a streak right now of Lori Anthony Day forever in our house. But
Unanimously voted on by everyone in the council.
Right.
It was a 5-0 vote.
It was 5. Right. We debated it a lot, right? We went back and
But the
forth.
consensus was 5.
It finally passed.
Was that-
and
Wait, excuse me, was that before or after Bella, was able to max out your credit cards?
That's right. And that was a good one. Yeah. Thank you, Ed, for reminding me of that. But anyway, we've been a team forever, and like everyone else said, this wouldn't be possible without a buy-in from you, from just the whole family, everyone okay with, since the kids were even little babies, daddy's got to go help the town instead of, watching a movie or doing something at night. But anyway, thank you so much. We love you. We adore you. You're the best. I love you.
Thank you. Yeah, Gabby, you know what? I love you so much. I hope you still love me. I do. But you know what? I love you because you love what I do for the community also. And you, Michael, and Samantha, you're the ones that actually allow me to volunteer my time here. And if it wasn't for you, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do what I do in the community, and you know I love doing it. And you know what? I don't know if I have you all beat because I didn't go out with Gabby when she was a teenager, although I knew Gabby when she was a teenager. We're about 4 years apart, and she was my sister's friend, and I think she probably always tried to flirt with me until she got of legal age, and then I started flirting with her. But I think I have you. Yes, so but you know what? We were all legal, but you know what? It was very simple. It was very simple to ask Gabby out. But you know what? You've been with me even before we're married. I was involved in the politics of Orange, and you know what? You knew what you were getting into when you said I do, and I thank you for that. You've been with me from oh my God, for years and years and years, and thank you. And you know what? I'm here in Livingston because of you. Because when we decided to move out of the town we were in, and I said to you I wanted to stay in Essex County, you had said that the only town you wanted to move into was Livingston. And we were taking our kids up here since they were 6 weeks old, up at Precious Care. And you know what? We moved up to Livingston. We now have our roots in Livingston. I just want to thank you. I love you. I love the kids. And just thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the late nights. Thank you for the missing dinners. I think we all have missing dinners with our families. And just thank you. And I want to thank all of our spouses because, again, it was set up here. Without all of you, we can't do this for the community. And today I wanted to make sure that we recognize all of you because clearly, you know what? You make us. So thank you. We have, let's go down and present our wives and husbands with a token of our appreciation to them also. Why don't we call all of our wives and husbands up here? Make sure you come to the right husband. So each of us had brought you a bouquet of flowers, but also we have I know, Ricky would have preferred a chef's house or something, but we also have a little something in these cards. We know that what your favorite restaurants are, and we want you to enjoy, why don't you hold it? Yeah, it doesn't look good. And we want you to enjoy dinner. Maybe we could actually go with you. So, but it's up to us. It's up to us. But again, this is your day, and we just want to thank you.
Sorry, I got to take one more because Rustin. Oh, that was cute.
We are on the camera. We challenge you. So before we begin, I want to recognize Commissioner Pat Siebold is in the audience. Welcome, Pat. So next on the agenda is he's coming in his fire uniform, not his elf uniform. But for those who know Tom Cooney, know that he's a wonderful volunteer for the community, volunteer in the fire company, as well as the head person in charge of the Camuso holiday display. So, Tom, I know you have a presentation to make. So, is there the microphone's there? Okay. I believe it is. Andy, we're all set? Yes.
Excellent, thank you. This is just a brief presentation that we had planned all along on doing much sooner for our 100th anniversary. We celebrated 100 years of service to the township in late 2021, and we had a number of events planned, as well as historical displays and this presentation. But unfortunately, our research was stopped short due to COVID. When the libraries and the historical societies were closed, we couldn't proceed, so everything got backed up, but we're here tonight. So the reason I'm here is I'm going to present you, the mayor and the council, and really the community, with a document that was discovered during our research for our history book. Our history book, we hope to have printed mid-year this year. The West Essex Tribune is doing the layout and design for us. They're working on it all week long, and we're hopeful that by mid-year, as I said, we'll have it printed. So during the research phase for our historical book that we're writing, we examined everything in fire headquarters up in the attic. Now, you might be familiar, might not. In 1929, when the firehouse was built, the one we're still in, the second floor was town hall. So it is chock full of records, not just fire department records, but also township records. So during that research, we came across a document. Many of you have probably seen it before, but you've seen what we believe to be copies. This document, and Andy, if you could put that up, I'll explain it briefly. This document here appears, there are copies that appear, I believe, in the library. There's one outside in the display cases. So this was the original plan for Memorial Park and the high school and the Oval. If you've never stopped to look at it, it's a lot different than it actually wound up being when it was developed. The reason we wanted to present this document is because, as I said, there are copies everywhere, but I believe this to be either the original or definitely one of the originals, as it was located in a ledger book in the attic with accounting records from 1938, and that's when this was presented. At the 125th anniversary of Livingston, it was unveiled at one of the ceremonies. So it belongs to the community, and we're giving it back. So I'll show you what this is the real McCoy, I believe. So as I said, you've seen copies of it, but if you take a close look, I really believe this is either the original or one of the original prints. So this belongs in Town Hall, and on behalf of the entire fire department, over the last 102 years, we want to present this and make sure it's on display. Yeah. Yeah, so if you look at the screen, actually I can point it out to you. So obviously the oval is not the oval. Driveway. There's the high school. This was supposed to be a recessed amphitheater with a stage. This was supposed to be police headquarters. This was going to be town hall with a circular driveway. This was slated to be the library, and right out in front of what is now Town Hall, where we are, was supposed to be a traffic circle. This was the post office. These were stores. This was a community center with a garden. And this was supposed to be a Boy Scout building, which shortly after this was unveiled, the old brick building was built right there. So it obviously did not turn out as originally planned according to this rendition, but it did get developed. So that's for the town.
Yeah, yeah.
Before you guys go anywhere, you can sit around here. For sure.
No, there was no pool in the original plan.
Yeah.
Now, Russ, when you drew this.
1938.
When you drew this, did you,
You want to get it?
1930. What year was the old town hall?
63.
ready here?
Sorry, you turn to us real quick. Thank you.
Any more surprises?
Oh, I have a lot of surprises. This is only one small piece. But that,
I have a smaller version of my office.
this is,
We'll definitely find a place to put this in town hall.
yeah, you know what, there's copies. I don't see it.
We should look at that. We should mount it. We should mount it.
I mean, this is just like. Yes. Like, it's just so random, like, it's just kind of random that day, try to chill a bit, and kind of like whatever the background is at. And then like my signature. Are you joining us tomorrow? Are you coming to like the show?
Yes.
Tom, thank you very much. And on a separate note, I know what you and your the elves are going through with all of this rain and wind. And you know, the Camuso display has survived, but I know it's closed tonight, and I know there's a little bit of work tomorrow setting up some of the mountains and everything else that fell down. You're building rafts.
Mayor, can I say a word?
Absolutely.
So in addition to obviously Tom and your elves, but since Ed and Ralph are here as well, I think it's, you know, it's sort of appropriate to say thank you. Today in Livingston, there was a house fire over on Broadlawn. And I know the response that was given by our volunteer fire department. And so I think it's very appropriate to say thanks to the three of you who are here and to the entire staff who work so hard for everything that you do. And we appreciate everything that you do. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So at this time, I need to open the Community Development Block Grant hearing. So tonight on the agenda, we need to hold the 2024 Essex County Community Development Block Grant Application Public Hearing. Tonight's public hearing is the second public hearing as required, as we're required to hold two public hearings. Russ, before we open the public hearing, can you explain what this Community Development Block Grant public hearing is and the benefits to the Livingston community?
Yeah, actually, Livingston cannot apply directly to HUD for the community. It's a federal program for community development funds. So in Essex County, there's only 4 towns that can apply directly to HUD, which are Irvington, Newark, East Orange, and Bloomfield, because they have populations of 50,000 or more. So Essex County then becomes the applicant to HUD, and then we make application for a portion of the Essex County grant. It's a low and moderate income program, so we are somewhat limited in the kind of projects that we can get funded because we don't have the demographics that meet some of the requirements. However, most of the things we do now are ADA or the old days we called barrier-free improvement projects. You may have seen some of our senior buses around. Several of those were funded through the Essex County for the Community Development Block Grant Program. And we're actually, last year we have an application in it which was approved to get a sensory trailer, which will be taken to events and for people that maybe have some problems with, being overstimulated by certain kinds of activities, whether it be fireworks or whatever. It's sort of a quiet area that they can go and just be at peace. So we're in the process of doing those specifications, so.
Okay. Thank you, Russ. Yep. So may I have a motion to open a public hearing? It's been moved. May I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
So the public hearing on the Essex County Community Development Block Grant application is now open. There's a 3-minute time limit per person. Is there anybody who would like to speak on it? So
Seeing
may I have Madam Clerk, has any written comments been received? So may I have a motion to close the public hearing on the CD?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. We're at this time at the approval of minutes. We have the regular and conference meeting minutes from December 11, 2023, and the closed session minutes from December 11th. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes pending corrections?
Mayor, before we go, I'm just going to recuse myself. I wasn't here on December 11th.
Okay, thank you. May I have a mover? May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to public comment on agenda items. May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only? So moved. May I have a second? All in favor? Okay, so at this time, the meeting is now open on any agenda items only. There's a 4-minute time limit per person. Hi, Justin, how are you?
I am well, Mr. Mayor. How are you, sir?
Good.
Justin Alper, 56 Amherst Place. With respect to Resolution 23271, approving a lease with the U.S. House. Representative from Mikey Sherrill. Difficult to comment on this. Where will she be leasing space, please?
Russ or Adam? Nope. So she'll be releasing space on the second floor of the municipal hall here.
We ought to do it in one of our commercial districts, so like the people who come into town to visit her can take advantage of all the improvements that we're doing. Just throwing it out there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Is there any other comments on agenda items? Okay. No, Madam Clerk, any?
No, Mayor, there isn't.
No, so hearing no more comments, may I have a motion to close the public portion? It's been moved, it's been seconded, all in favor? Opposed? None. So passage of ordinances. Tonight, there are no ordinances for second reading, and there's no ordinance for introductions. That brings us to the consent agenda. So all matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of general orders. Madam Clerk, would you please read all the resolutions on the consent agenda by title and resolution? Deputy Mayor, I know that you're going to pull one of them, but we'll do that after the clerk reads them.
Resolution 23-267, authorizing the award of a contract to Rapid Pump and Meter Service Company, Inc. Resolution 23-268, establishing 2024 SILS fees. Resolution 23-269, increasing deferred local school district tax. Resolution 23-270, award of contract to Bruno Associates, Inc. for grant consulting services. Resolution 23-271, approving lease for U.S. House District New Jersey 11 office. Resolution 23-272, cancellations of dedication by riders in the General Trust Fund. Resolution 23-273, transfer 2023 budget appropriations. Resolution 23-274, approving administrative consent order with NJDEP for PFAS remediation plan.
Thank you. Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and voting?
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to recuse myself from 23-274.
Great.
I would also like to recuse myself from 23270.
270.
Mayor, I'd like to pull out 271 just for discussion.
Okay, so we'll do it separately, everything separately. So may I have a motion to approve all the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda? May I have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Begoli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Mayor Viera.
Yes. Okay, so may I have a motion to approve Resolution 23-270? It's been moved. May I have a second? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so let's start this over again. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 23-270?
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
It's been moved. May I have a second? May I have you second it?
Yeah,
Rose, don't second.
Okay.
Don't second it.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Begoli's recused. Deputy Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Mayor Viera.
Yes. I believe the other one that was pulled was 23-271. So may I have a motion to approve resolution number 23-271?
Motion.
I'm sorry. No, comments after we move it. I'm sorry. So it's a move. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, I wanted to pull this out because I think this is a real feather in our cap in Livingston. This is a government building that people come into all day long, day in and day out, for access to the municipal government, and now it's going to be one-stop shopping for access to the federal government. I think that we can be very proud of our Congresswoman and how she's represented us, and the fact that her offices are going to be in this building will be great for Livingston, also great for our high school students who have access to working in the office as convenient as possible. I see a couple of, at least one former high school, I'm not sure who's next to you, young people involved in town. And we were having a discussion, when I'm looking at you, we had a discussion earlier today about expanding access to the town's committees to Livingston High School students, to show them, for those who are interested in government, and want to have meaningful experiences, it seems like we should be able to accommodate them on the actual town council committees. And I think that we should figure out, mechanically how we can do that. I know that Jared, the town attorney, has said we have to be, it has to be handled the right way, but it seems like it would be a great idea, in my opinion. So anyway, just circling back around, I'm very happy about Resolution 23-271. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? So I just want to say, Councilman, you hit the nail right on the head. One-stop shopping. Anybody who needs anything regarding municipal and our federal, it's right here in the building. This building doesn't play politics, it plays services. So I think it's really great that we have the Congresswoman in our building for our residents. And it will bring people from outside of Livingston into our community who can shop and eat and everything else. So is there any other discussions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Begoli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Mayor Viera.
Yes. May I have a resolution to approve resolution number 23-274? May I have a mover?
Move.
May I have a second? All in favor? Any discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Begoli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Anthony is recused. Mayor Viera.
Yes. Okay, great, thank you. It brings us to the public portion on any subject. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject? It's been moved. May I have a second? All in favor? So the meeting's now open with a 3-minute time limit. If you want to come up to the microphone, please leave your name for the record. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, any written comments that have been received by your office?
Yes, Mayor, I do have a couple to read. The first one is to the Town Council from Paul Boxer. He writes, at your meeting of November 27th, 2023, the mayor engaged in hostile and slanderous behavior towards me, screaming baseless accusations at me from the dais. This happened in public, and despite the fact that he knew his accusations to be false, he attempted to defame and smear me in front of the community I've called home for 10 years. Council members, I have children in our schools. I have served on LMAC and the LCDI committees. For the mayor to knowingly launch false accusations at me in an attempt to tarnish my name and reputation was, in my opinion, disgusting. By now, many of my fellow residents have sent me messages or approached me in person to condemn the mayor's actions and express their shock and disappointment at his disgraceful behavior. The mayor's actions are made even more atrocious given that he has so far failed to issue a public apology and withdrawal of his baseless accusations. Mayor Vieira, we teach our smallest children to take responsibility when they have done something wrong. It's a very low bar and a very simple standard. This is now the second chance at a public apology with which you have been presented. The community that elected you to this council expects that you will do the right thing.
Thank you. So it's time to address Mr. Boxer's letters from the last two meetings. First, no one was screaming. Maybe the voices were raised, but there was no screaming. And the loudest comment I said to Mr. Boxer was when I said, that's disgusting. And in my opinion, that will not change. I truly believe Mr. Boxer showed a lack of common sense in endorsing a post on his Facebook social media group page that encouraged people to protest and picket in front of the council members' homes, a place where our children and our spouses live. Maybe there was some confusion because two issues were being discussed at the same time, both involving social media posts. The first post that a resident posted on the township's Facebook page listed a local builder's home address and information about the size of that home. That post was purposely intended to be in bad taste. This post was not on Mr. Boxer's social media page group. However, the issue that I took the most offense to was when a resident made a post on the social media group that Mr. Boxer is the administrator of and telling readers to protest and picket the council members' homes. Instead of removing that post, Mr. Boxer and another resident gave it the thumbs up to endorse the post. They liked it. We sit up here as council members pretty much as volunteers for our community. We do this with our family's support. If you have a problem with us, come after us. Don't come after our families and our homes. This post scared our families. Some of us up here have younger children. Mr. Boxer continues to try to justify that protesting and picketing is legal, and he's right. That's the person's First Amendment right. Okay, my First Amendment right is to tell him, as the administrator of the group and who's supporting the picket statement, that it's disgusting and wrong, and that type of online behavior doesn't belong in Livingston. When this comment was posted on Mr. Boxer's group site, the council members were away at a conference. Our families were rightfully concerned about the post. And Mr. Boxer, at the meeting, you said you were a peaceful man. I believe you. You said you don't even own a gun. I'll take your word for that. But Paul, can you assure me that every one of your social media readers is the same as you? No, you can't. Earlier this year, a councilwoman in Sayreville was murdered in front of her home. Warnings were issued by every elected official around the state as a precaution. Let's talk about someone ringing Nancy Pelosi's doorbell and beating her husband over the head with a hammer. Let's talk about the New Jersey judge whose son answered the doorbell and was shot and killed, and her husband was severely wounded. These people were not after family members, but they became the victims. Unfortunately, there are crazy people in this world. Paul, we can agree to disagree, but as administrator of that social media group, you are liable for anything that happens and everything that is posted. You endorsed that disgusting statement. Gabby, Michael, Samantha, I'm sorry that I placed you in that position where you were threatened to have our home picketed. So I'm sorry for that. Thank you.
I was going to follow up for 1 second. Since I made some comments a few weeks ago about that same post, I'll continue at that. It is Mr. Boxer's First Amendment right to talk about that and to people to march in front of their homes. There's no doubt about that. But as Mr. Boxer did say, we are residents of this town. And I'll say the same thing. We are residents of this town, and we are allowed to speak up as well. And because of that, I felt the same way that the mayor did. He put my wife, who was home alone, in a fear of harm, needing extra police protection in front of the house, that the extra taxpayers' dollars that cost overtime to protect my house and the house of my fellow council men and women who are up here as well. So I want to thank the mayor for his comments.
Thank you. May I have the motion to close the public portion? Oh, I'm sorry, there's more.
The next comment is from Michelle Lemieux. She writes, "Hi, my name is Michelle Lemieux. I live on Byron Place on the other side of the bridge from school. My daughters, ages 5 and 10, both walk to Burnett Hill Elementary School. For the last 6 years, we've been walking to school, and the sidewalk from the end of Byron Place to the school is horrendous. I have filled numerous service request forms through the Civic mobile app or from the town's website over the years and brought this to the attention of the council and the township many times. Whenever we report any weather-related issues, it is handled. I am thankful for that, but the sidewalk is very difficult for children and families to maneuver. There are potholes that just keep getting refilled and refilled with tar. The sidewalk itself is broken into so many cracks, leaving pieces of tar on the walkway and grass next to it. There is a slant where kids and parents lose balance because of the unevenness of the sidewalk into the grassy area between the street and the walkway. This seems to be because the sidewalk has been repaired with tar over and over for the last 6 years. This is only as long as I have been using it for school. I've attached photos for your reference. I'd just like a safe walkway sidewalk for my children to walk to and from school. I know there are tons of sidewalk issues all over town, but I am hopeful you can address this so no one gets hurt as the cold weather approaches, as these sidewalks aren't always maintained during the winter. Thank you for your time and consideration." And then, Mayor, I just wanted to mention there was one other comment that was received that was shared with everybody here on the council and on the dais, but it was not, it was more forwarding of correspondences, so I will not be reading it tonight.
Gotcha. So in regards to Michelle's post or letter, would you please make sure that Barry and Adam and Russ get it? I know there were some pictures, and Michelle, we are starting to look at sidewalks, especially where children are walking to school, so we'll make sure that we get somebody out there to assess the sidewalks, but we are making a list, and there's some grants out there, Safe Routes to School, and all of that we're starting to work on the sidewalks on. Councilman Meinhardt, did you have a comment that you wanted to read at this point? No, I was going to wait till tomorrow. Oh, okay, no problem. So may I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject? May I have a second?
Mayor?
May I have, oh.
Yeah, sure, just come up to the microphone.
Yeah,
say
I
your
didn't
name and
close it
address.
yet.
My name is John Brecka, 15 Glannon Road here in town, and I feel like what I wanted to bring up, which is the charging stations, is kind of a small issue compared to other things that you all talk about. But the charging stations here, when there was when they were no cost, when they were free, were busy all the time. But since something new has been instituted where it now costs money, they're vacant almost all the time. And just driving over here this evening, they were all empty. So I just wanted to throw the suggestion out there, if you wanted to make them useful to the town, to put in a supercharger, the kind that people would be more prone to use as opposed to the very slow kind which are presently there. So thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and you missed our conference meeting because that was one of the discussions.
Mayor,
Really?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I was the one who brought it up. So thank you for your comments. We are working on procuring grants through the state for the high-level chargers.
Great.
And you know, we did have some, I think there was a lot of conversation around establishing a charging, I don't mean charging from a cost point of view, for the cost of charging your car. And we tried to strike a balance where it would not be expensive for someone to come along and charge for a short time, but then of course people were leaving their cars there all along and didn't give anyone else a chance.
Sure,
And
sure.
so that over time, the price would go up, as you got into later hours.
Right.
So we were trying to, but we do want them to be used. They're there for use. We do want to get better ones as best we, as soon as we can, and it's something we're thinking about. And I think the most important thing here is that we want to encourage electric vehicles, right? Everyone here has to be worried about climate change, and driving electric vehicles is like one of the most important things any individual can do, in order to help combat climate change. So thank you.
Great, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject? It's been moved. May I have a second? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much. At this time, we are on to reports of town officials. But before we do this, Elizabeth, thank you very much, and Charlotte and Brody, thank you very much. It's great. Charlotte, maybe someday you'll be sitting in my seat as afterwards, and you'll be the mayor of this town, and Brody too. So thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Rush Jones, do you have anything to mention? Thank you. Assistant Township Manager Adam Lerner, anything?
Not this evening.
Carolyn Mazuka, anything?
Nothing from me, Mayor.
Our
Thank you very
CFO,
much.
Ann Cucci, anything?
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you that we invested this year quite a bit because the interest rates were up, and we earned almost $1.1 million in interest income. Last year was not even a quarter of that, so that's a good thing.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much. Mr. Cantor, anything? And we are going to be going back into a closed session after this, correct?
Yes, Mayor, we'll be on the closed session to discuss a personnel matter and discuss fair share housing litigation, specifically the Westminster Esplanade property, which was part of our fair share housing settlement agreement, and the deadlines surrounding that, and the township's plan to meet those deadlines.
Great, thank you. Council comments. Councilmember Ed Meinhardt, anything?
Thank you very much. A couple things. First of all, want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. I don't think we're going to be meeting again before the Christmas holiday, so to all who celebrate, a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and Happy New Year. Also, Kwanzaa begins on the 26th of December, so I wish everybody a festive and happy Kwanzaa. I also want to just take a minute to thank Mayor Vieira for his leadership this year. We went through some tough times, obviously, and some struggles, but you did a nice job leading us through the year, so thank you. To Deputy Mayor Al Anthony, we wish you all the best next year as mayor. You'll continue doing a stellar job for this town. And to my partner here on my left, who will no longer be with us, Assemblywoman-elect Begoli, we wish you all the best in Trenton. We know that you will represent us proud, and we look forward to you returning and reporting back to us often. So we wish you all the best. Finally, I received a letter that I'd like to read. It was addressed to me, but really addressed to the town and to the DPW. It comes from the United Association of Landscaper Contractors. The president and the treasurer are two local Livingston landscapers, and it reads as follows to the council. We would like to take this opportunity to commend the township on the service they provide year-round, but especially during the annual leaf collection process. Our group can appreciate the amount of effort it takes to accomplish this task in a timely fashion. Township employees work diligently on a daily basis through all kinds of weather and conditions to keep Livingston the well-maintained community that it is. From all the members of the UALC, once again, we'd like to acknowledge the township efforts and happy holidays to all. I mention it often, and I'll continue to say it. The DPW workers are the backbone of this operation. Through all seasons, they're out there, making sure that our fields are lined, making sure that our streets are clean, making sure that our sewers and the gutters and the leaves are picked up. So we thank them for everything that they do, and I just wanted to make sure that this letter was read.
Thank you, Councilman. Anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Councilman Sean Klein?
I also want to reflect what Ed said. Happy holidays to everybody, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, and Kwanzaa. And for all those who celebrated Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, finishing up on that. I think I would just wanted to say, Tom Cooney was here and was presenting us with this document, and I wish he was still in the room, because when you sit and talk to him for more than 30 seconds, you realize he has this encyclopedic knowledge of Livingston. There's two things you realize. One is the depth of his knowledge, and the other one is the depth of his love. He just loves this town, and he has taken the time to take care of this town in all the different facets. And, I always want to, when you have one of these top tier volunteers in town, I just always want to acknowledge that. there are the mayor and I have had some discussions with Tom and some of the volunteer firemen. And we're going to have more to say on this a little bit later on, but we think it's really important to be able to recognize their contribution and be able to, I don't want to say too much right now, but we're looking forward to recognizing their contribution, the first aid squad and the fire department in a really meaningful way. We recognize the value that they have to our township, and I think we're going to be doing something important to show that.
Thank you, Councilman Klein. Assemblywoman-elect Rosie Begoli.
Good evening, everyone. You'll have your entire government here in Livingston. You'll have the local government, you'll have me, who will be taking over Governor Cody's office, and you'll have Mikey here. So congratulations to the
Pat.
citizens of Livingston. And you have Pat Siebold here too. You have your entire government in one town. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a blessed Kwanzaa, a Happy New Year, since we'll not be meeting until the first of the year. I wanted to thank all the residents. Today's not the day where I'm going to give my goodbye, but I want to thank everyone for their support this year. I want to thank Michael Vieira for his vision, for his leadership this year, for guiding us through some very difficult times, and the rest of the council members who were just amazing men to work with this year. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Assemblywoman-elect. I'll get used to saying that, right? Now, to me, you're always Rosie. Deputy Mayor Al Anthony.
Sure. Just echo Merry Christmas, a blessed Kwanzaa, a Happy New Year to everyone. A few things. If you went out to Camuso on Saturday, it was amazing. There was, is that the night with the horses and everything? Yeah. It's hard. I've been there a bunch of times. But Tim Foley played a great Santa Claus. He looked a lot like Santa Claus.
You can't say that. He's Santa Claus.
He is Santa Claus. That's right. Wow. Yeah. We then, it was just a great night. I know LACD had an event earlier. Just great holiday spirit over there. Thank you for all the volunteers. Tom, including the chief elf right there. Anyway, I didn't thank the other spouses, I think, before. I was so caught up in, since I have been as a kid with my own wife, but thanks to all the spouses and all they put up with all the time of, kind of losing us for a while, whether it's ribbon cuttings during the day or nights or liaison to committees. I mean, we could be out like every night, and weekends too. So I thank all of our spouses for putting up with us. And yes, and congratulations, Assemblywoman-elect, for a great election. And Mayor Vieira, you had a really busy year, and you did a nice job during it. So thank you for your undying service to this town.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And I, too, want to wish everybody happy holidays and a healthy and happy 2024. I don't know what's going on. You know what? Usually I come home from these meetings. This is going to be an early meeting, I think, unless the closed session is longer. But usually my wife will order me dinner, and I'll just stick it in the microwave and eat it about 10:30. But since she's here now, I'm not sure what kind of dinner I'm getting at home. But, Gab, if you want to stop at McDonald's on your way out of here, McDonald's seems to be my dinner of choice after the council meetings. But I, too, want to thank also the Camuso elves. They've done such a marvelous job. And if anybody has not gone to see the Camuso display yet, it's only open to January 1st. I think we're closing it January 1st. You got to get out there to see it. There's hundreds and hundreds of people there on the weekends, and it's really wonderful. Want to congratulate our deputy mayor, who will ascend the mayor. Wish you had it this year, Al. I wish our roles were reversed a little bit. But you know what? We got through this year. It was a tough year. We ended up doing it. I'm proud of my year. I want to thank every single person. The one I want to thank really is Carolyn Mazuka. Carolyn, you know what? You kept me straight and narrow. You do so much. You're one of those names that aren't called on a lot, but you really do keep us together. So And I'm sure I'll have
I
more
have
to
a
say.
great staff, too. I'd be
Yeah,
remiss if I
absolutely.
didn't
You have
mention my great staff. They're
Liz,
really
Renee, and
amazing.
Casey are wonderful, and we thank all of them for that. Really, we do. So our reorganization meeting is January 1st at 11 o'clock. I'm sure all of us will have a little bit more to say. Today is, I think, it's probably my last meeting. We're not sure whether we're going to have a special meeting, but those special meetings are only for budget purposes, and they only last about 10 minutes. But today is my last meeting, and I'm sure
You're still mayor of the reorg.
I am, but
didn't
you
say
know what?
thanks or
We continue to. I'm sure my fans on Facebook right now are saying yay, yay, yay. So we'll be reading that shortly.
You're still mayor January 1. Don't
Yeah, for a couple of minutes, but
You got chipped out of an apple pie.
don't try and shorten the job. I won't. But again, thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned. We're going back into to closed session. It's good to see you guys back from I guess winter break now. So enjoy yourself. We'll meet for coffee or something.
Mayor,
So,
just,
yes.
we're gonna just go through a closed session resolution one more
Oh
time.
yes, I'm sorry, Carolyn.
okay.
Can you take us into closed session?
Resolution 23-276, whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a certain meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the Township Council wishes to discuss fair share housing, attorney-client privilege, litigation, and personnel matters, whereas minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires confidentiality, the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be resolved, the Township Council of the Township of Livingston, that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Do you need a roll call or no?
Councilmember Meinhardt?
Yes.
Klein? Begoli? Deputy Mayor Anthony? Mayor Viera?
Yes. Thank you.